MTN 530 News.
Hi everybody, Scott Breen at First Interstate Arena. Is indoor football on its way back to Billings? Indications say yes. Details just moments away.
Plus, a local catering company dips its paw into gourmet meals for your pup. We'll have the delicious details. And the political battle between the Montana Supreme Court and Republicans at the state legislature adds yet another layer. We'll have the latest on that coming up. Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Friday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. A lot to tell you about tonight. We now know the name of a woman found dead in a home in the 1000 block of Avenue B in Billings yesterday. Law enforcement spotted and gave chase to the two suspects in the case more than 200 miles away near West Yellowstone late last night, and both of them are also now dead. Q2's Shaquille Cozart sorts out the details.
Well, according to the Billings Police Department, the investigation is still ongoing and active. Officers were dispatched to this home behind me at the 1000 block of Avenue B to conduct a welfare check. When they made entry into the residence,
they located a 64-year-old female deceased who had signs of some suspicious trauma.
According to Yellowstone Valley Deputy Coroner Rich Hoffman, the 64-year-old woman was Roxanne Renee Watson of Billings, whose cause of death was determined to be strangulation and multiple blunt force injuries. Woolley said the investigation division responded to the report of her body and conducted a follow-up search of the home, where they identified two people of interest that investigators wanted to speak with regarding Watson's death. The Billings Police Department then issued a statewide attempt to locate the two people of interest and their vehicle.
Late last night, there was an incident in Bozeman where the two persons of interest were located deceased after a series of events.
According to the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office, before the bodies were found, they received a call as part of a multi-agency response to a vehicle in pursuit in the West Yellowstone area. The suspects were wanted in connection with the homicide in Billings.
The suspects fled into a wooded area near Duck Creek. Shortly after the suspects fled into the wooded area, law enforcement heard two gunshots. Both subjects were later located deceased.
Lieutenant Woolley says that at this time, the Billings Police Department and the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office are working closely on this investigation and are still finding the facts about each incident. Reporting in Billings, I'm Shaquille Cozart with MTN News.
Thank you, Shaquille. And more information can be found on this story on KTVQ.com. We've got new information on the bear mauling that forced the emergency closure of parts of the Custer-Gallatin National Forest. A man is recovering in the hospital after being attacked by what we now know was a grizzly bear in West Yellowstone. Officials responded to a call Thursday afternoon near Baker's Hole Campground. Law enforcement teams were able to locate the man after about 50 miles of off-trail searching. He remains hospitalized in critical condition with significant scalp and facial injuries. Morgan Jacobson with Montana's Fish, Wildlife and Parks says it's important to always carry and know how to use bear spray, as bears are very active right now. Jacobson also says to travel in groups if possible. Well, in the escalating political face-off between the Montana Supreme Court and Republicans at the state legislature, the High Court today temporarily blocked all legislative efforts to obtain internal documents from the court. But the court said the issue is not settled and that it will rule later on whether the legislature has legal authority to request those documents. MTN's Mike Dennison has the latest on this dispute over whether the judiciary may be biased against certain laws passed by the legislature.
On Thursday, Republicans at the legislature issued subpoenas to all 7 justices on the Supreme Court and the court administrator, ordering them to produce extensive internal communications by Monday. But on Friday afternoon, a unanimous court blocked those subpoenas and any other efforts to obtain or distribute those documents. In a 6-page order, the court said it has the exclusive constitutional duty to decide whether the legislature has the power to request the court documents at issue. It also gave the legislature, the Gianforte administration, and the Supreme Court's own administrator 14 days to submit further legal arguments, after which the court will rule on the extent of the legislature's subpoena power. The dispute arose more than 2 weeks ago over a lawsuit challenging a new law passed by Republicans to give Governor Gianforte much broader power to appoint new state judges. The suit is before the Supreme Court, and Republicans believe the justices might have expressed opinions on the new law, showing that they'd prejudged it and could be biased. Republicans issued an earlier subpoena last week that led to the Gianforte administration obtaining more than 2,400 of the court administrator's emails. The administration runs the state email system and used that power to obtain the documents without the court's permission or court review of the documents. Republican legislators then began releasing selected emails to the media, showing judges and justices expressing opinions on other bills before the legislature. The High Court on Friday said it has never ruled on the scope of the legislature's subpoena power, but that it is the court's job to do so. Until that happens, the court says no more emails or other documents will be released. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Democrats in the legislature say that Republicans are just trying to smear the courts, which will be deciding the constitutionality of many laws passed by the GOP majority that will be challenged in court. Firearms enthusiasts turning out in force at a gun show at Metro Park as it started its three-day run this afternoon, and the promoter says it's his busiest Friday ever in Billings. Many waited in line to get into the Montana Pavilion. Sports Connection had held a gun show back in February, and this is the first show back to normal. Vendors brought guns for collectors, hunters, and sportsmen. Many have not been able to find guns and ammunition at stores, and the show provides a chance to find what may be in short supply.
Ammunition at the gun shows, everybody that had some extra ammunition that they had squirreled away at home, you're seeing it here at the shows. People are putting it on their tables, but the prices are high. Same thing with firearms.
The Sports Connection Gun Show runs Saturday from 9 until 5 and then Sunday from 9 a.m. until 3 at the Metro Park, Montana Pavilion. Well, it's a job not for the faint of heart. This week is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. It's a time to thank our emergency service telecommunicators for all that they do to help keep people safe. Q2's Brandon Warren takes us inside the Yellowstone County 911 Center to hear about the challenges and rewards they face on a daily basis.
If you've ever had to dial 911, then you've been greeted within the first 2 rings by words similar to these.
City County Dispatch, Michaela.
Answering over 700 calls a day makes public safety telecommunicators the first line of first responders.
Someone having worst day of their life and they just need some help to get them through that, and you get them that help they need.
Prioritizing speed, efficiency, and accuracy isn't an easy task. But on top of that,
when we're extremely busy in here, you can be taking multiple calls at once.
Above all else though, their job has one major goal.
We're helping someone. Obviously, people call into 911 for a reason, and in the end, we're just helping them out.
Teamwork is also a huge part of the process.
As we're typing the report, the dispatcher can see what we're typing as we type it, as we hit enter, and then they send the police or the deputies. So we've got multiple people working on the same call. So with all those questions we're asking, there's no delay.
Michaela recalls one time when teamwork made a huge difference.
When I was training on fire, I had a rim rescue on Briarwood, and they fell off a 30-foot cliff. Everyone had to work together to locate them. So my coworker, he was on the phone with them, kept trying to ping the location. And then I was working fire, and it was just trying to direct everyone in the back of these hills. It's just a lot of coordinating we have to do.
Despite the high pressure of the job,
it's always fun to come here. We're always cheerful people in here. We're always interacting.
The office is extra fun during this special week.
Priscilla puts together a week of lots of games, prizes. They have a theme for the week, and usually every day they can dress up.
Local businesses donate food, prizes, and more as a thank you to the public safety telecommunicators. In Billings, Brandon Warren, MTN News.
Thanks, Brandon. The dispatch center is currently understaffed, and for more information about the job, you can go to our website, ktvq.com. Well, new tonight, Billings hasn't had an indoor football team in 5 years, but is that about to change? Our own Scott Breen has been covering this story all day and has some answers.
Here at First Interstate Arena, where indoor football could very well be back on the table. I'm told there's an agreement in place. It'll go to the county commissioners Tuesday morning at their 9:30 meeting. This afternoon, I talked to Keith Russ, part of the new ownership group. Says they're waiting to reveal most of the details in a media conference 2 weeks from today here in Billings. Russ did give me some details, though. This Billings team will be part of the Champions Indoor Football League, right now with 8 squads. 2 of those at the moment are dormant, though, because of COVID restrictions on their arenas. Teams you might recognize, the Omaha Beef and Sioux City Bandits. The Wyoming Mustangs are also a member, headquartered down in Gillette, where Keith Russ is both owner and head coach right now. The Champions Indoor Football League is 3 weeks into its season at the moment, also showcasing 3 teams from Kansas. Those are in Dodge City, Salina, and Wichita. The 2 dormant teams right now are Amarillo and West Texas. The Billings franchise would kick off next year with a 3-year contract proposed through 2024. They'd play 6 home games a season, plus the possibility of playoffs here at First Interstate Arena. Now, the last time Billings fielded indoor football was 5 years ago. The Wolves played during 2015 and 16, reaching their only playoff appearance in that final season, but they were 1-out with an 8-point loss to Nebraska. Chris Dixon was head coach. Prior to that, Dixon was an all-world quarterback for the Billings Outlaws. They had an 11-year run with 3 league championships in 06, 09, and 2010. Outlaws, of course, ceased operations after that last title, and a tornado ripped off the roof of what was then Rimrock Auto Arena. Again, indoor football likely makes its return to Billings less than a year from now. A media conference set for 2 weeks from today and should reveal details including team name, team colors, possibly head coach, and start date of a new season. Keith Russ told me they already have a couple of coaching candidates in place. You have to wonder if one is Chris Dixon. And again, county commissioners have the chance to pass the proposed contract at their Tuesday morning meeting at 9:30. At First Interstate Arena, Scott Breen, MTN Sports.
Thanks, Scott. Exciting news there. Well, up next on tonight's MTN 530 News on Q2, doggone good food product that's being dished out to pets gourmet style. Plus excitement in the air. It may not feel like it, but it's officially summer at Yellowstone National Park. We're going to head there as well.
And we had variable weather through the day today. We ended up with a high of 50 degrees after the sun broke through, but early in the morning we picked up a couple hundredths inch of moisture. We'll show you the weekend forecast in a little bit.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the